Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe that I came up with for a plant-based carbonara pasta. If you've ever had carbonara before in a non-plant-based version, you know that it's filled with cheese and bacon or pancetta, and it's delicious. And ever since we've gone plant-based, I've missed that kind of pasta, so I worked on creating a recipe to mimic the flavors that you get from a traditional carbonara and work them into a plant-based dish. So it's super easy, and I'm going to go through the ingredients with you first. Okay, so for our sauce, we are going to use 1 cup of raw almonds, 1 cup of warm water. We're going to be using a blender. If you don't have a high-powered blender, you're going to want to soak these cashews for at least an hour, I would say, in warm water. We're using a NutriBullet, which is high-powered, so I don't have to soak them beforehand. We also have a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. We have 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. 1 teaspoon of miso paste. This is red miso paste. And we're going to also be using 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And then we are going to be using 8 ounces or half a box we have whole grain penne. You could use whatever kind of pasta you wanted, but it's going to make enough for 8 ounces or half of a typical box of pasta. We have about a cup of chopped sliced mushrooms, about a cup of peas. I'm using frozen peas, as you can see, with the ice still on them. And then I have a cup of cooked and chopped tempeh bacon. I made this myself here at home. You can buy pre-made tempeh bacon, but I would recommend that you make it at home, and when you do so, to cut the amount of liquid smoke or smoked paprika that you're using in your recipe by half. My recipe called for 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, so I cut that down to 1/2 teaspoon. It also called for 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and I bumped that down to 1/4, because if you keep that at the traditional amounts, the smoke flavor kind of overpowers the sauce and the pasta, and that's kind of all you can taste. So I would highly recommend making it yourself. Look up a recipe and make it yourself at home. It's pretty easy to do so. First, we're going to make our sauce. So we're going to put in our 1 cup of cashews, our water, salt and pepper, nutritional yeast, and our lemon juice. And our miso paste. We're just going to run that in the blender until it is nice and smooth. This is what your sauce is going to look like after you mix it. It's going to look a little bit runny now, but when you mix it in with the pasta, that's going to absorb a lot of that extra liquid, and you won't be left with too much water in that, I promise. So my water is boiling for my pasta, so I'm going to go ahead and put my pasta in there. Give it a little stir to keep everything separated. And my oil's heated up in my pan, so I'm going to throw in our mushrooms and our peas. I'm going to go ahead and season these with a little bit of extra salt, just a little pinch on the top. you can see these mushrooms are really starting to get some nice color on them. And that's what you're looking for. You want to let them sit in the pan for long enough. You don't want to be stirring it constantly to let them get a little bit of that caramelization on the outside and develop some nice flavors. Now once you're happy with how cooked your mushrooms are and your peas, you can go ahead and turn the heat off and just let that kind of hang out until our pasta's done. Our pasta's all done, so now I just strained it and I dumped it back right in the pot here. I'm just going to get a spoon and add in our mushrooms and our peas. Okay, so I've added my mushrooms and peas. I'm going to dump in most of the sauce. You can reserve a little bit of it to play around with it if you need to add a little extra. And then we're also going to put in most of the tempeh bacon, but you're going to leave a little bit for garnish on the top. So I just am leaving a little bit just to sprinkle on top, make it look real nice. And then we are going to give it a stir. And here is our delicious plant-based carbonara. And we're going to serve it up. To serve this, you're just going to scoop some in a bowl. Top it with a few of those crumbles of tempeh bacon. And if you have some fresh parsley, which I don't at the moment, you can sprinkle a little bit of that on top to give it a little bit more color as well, which makes it really, really nice and pretty. And so give this dish a try. Let me know if you make it. Let me know if you do any substitutions, because I would love to hear what works for you or what doesn't work for you. It's always helpful for a little feedback for myself and for other people making the dishes. You're going to want to serve this right away. If you don't, the sauce kind of dries up a little bit. So serve this right away. If you do need to reheat it, put about a teaspoon or two of water on it before you heat it up. That'll just kind of help to get that sauce moving again and keep things the way that they're supposed to be. So I hope that you have enjoyed this dish. I hope that you try it, and I hope that you like it. So make sure you leave a comment if you do, and I would love to hear about it. Love to hear your experiences with it. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye.